Hey guys, Rick Ginn here, and in today's video, what I want to do is I want to connect with you guys on the DMs. Guys, I get so many direct messages from you guys, and it's hard to answer all of them, but what I thought I'd do is do this video so I can respond to the questions of like, how do I get started in wholesaling? How do I do comps? What's an ARV? So this video is for you. If you sent me a DM, I'm going to try to reach as many as you can and answer your most important questions. This DM ask is basically, I'm contemplating to be going between a local market and doing a virtual market. I live in a non-disclosure state, please advise. So you guys always know, if you have the ability to do your local market and you're not in some crazy market like San Fran, Miami, New York City, LA, or something like that, is if you can do it locally, you'll connect better with the sellers and you have a much higher probability of taking down a wholesaling deal. Now, the problem is if you're stuck in one of these cities where prices are astronomical, it's hard to get started there. So we have this thing called virtual wholesaling, which basically you go out and pick the market. So you can find much cheaper wholesaling markets for you to pick, and you don't have to be there. You contact motivated sellers and you identify pain points and you put deals together. It takes a little bit longer for it to get going, but you can do lots of deals, and after 3 months it can be very profitable. What I advise is to actually do both. So if you're in one of those super high markets, always keep your eyes out locally. You only need 1 or 2 deals to make a tremendous difference, and then you can jump on your virtual market, and once you master it, you can even add more. Now, he says specifically, I'm in a non-disclosure state, which basically means that that state does not share public sale prices. So when you go on Zillow or Trulia or stuff like that, the sold comps read 0. So to overcome working to get prices in a non-disclosure state, you really need to kind of get MLS access. So the best way to really do that is to go to zacdata.com or listrei.com, and you can get access through these softwares. You get a 7-day free trial period, and that will give you access in a non-disclosure state. Guys, you always want to do your local market, but if you're priced out, add that virtual market on it and get busy finding deals. So Denzel asked here, should I open up an LLC prior to doing my first wholesale deal? And guys, this one's really easy. In the beginning, do not complicate it. Do not worry about getting LLC. Don't even worry about your tax structure. You need to get income to create this problem and leave it up to the experts after you get your first 2 deals. So Denzel, you can technically do them in your name. It's not going to create a huge tax liability with you. And if anything, I want to create a problem for you. But chasing down LLCs, doing logos, and trying to do tax saving strategies before you've done a wholesaling deal is a waste of time. Concentrate on going through freewholesaling.com and locating motivated sellers and reach out to them and find if there's interest in selling their property. Once you take down 2, then you're going to reach out to a competent real estate lawyer or a CPA and just say, I'm going to do hundreds of deals like this. How do I set it up? Don't worry about it. Go out there and get those wholesale deals. Okay, so the next one on here is, do you have a course? I want to learn, how do I get started? And guys, this is a really common question, and this is where a lot of you get lost, especially when you go out on the internet searching, wholesaling help. I'm here to tell you, there is going to be a flock of people out there that will give you such empty promises for X amount of price. I can show you the world. I'll show you how to wholesale. I'm highly experienced, and I'm here to tell you, it's all out there for free. Paying for wholesaling is like paying to learn your ABCs. It makes no sense. So I've structured a course. Me and Zach have structured a course called freewholesaling.com. We have 25 years experience. We actually run a 7-figure wholesaling business. And if you want to learn how we do it step by step, literally step by step, without pulling out your credit card and without going deep into debt, go over to freewholesaling.com and then join us on our one-on-one lives. We go 6 days a week, and we offer multiple videos every day on how to be a successful wholesaler. Guys, there is a new way to learn this information. Stop guessing. Stop paying people that aren't qualified to teach you. Go over to freewholesaling.com, connect with me and Zach, and we'll get you started to your first 100 grand in wholesaling. Justin DMs here. Hey, listen, I'm going on my first appointment today. I have a motivated seller and I want to get my contract signed. The problem is it's a fire damaged property and I have no idea how to price this thing out. Please help. Well, Justin, awesome job for screening out the motivation and finding a motivated seller. So remember, you don't have to be an expert on it. You are an expert on finding motivated sellers, which you've done that. So what you need to do is go and structure a deal. So the first thing you do is calculate what the ARV is on it, and that's the after repair value. If that fire did not exist, what would be the retail price for that property? Okay, and that should be an easy one to find out. If you want to learn more how to do that, go to listrei.com, one of the easiest ways to do it. And then once you have that number, the really cool part is you don't have to figure out what the damage is to the fire. So sometimes there's just little smoke fires, and some of them there's holes in the roof and it's major. If you're sitting in the house with air conditioning in that house, odds are it's a small fire. If you're going off property to visit it, I want you to do a couple things. Number one, you can usually get a copy of the fire department's report when they did it, and they'll put an estimated amount of fire damage on it. That's good enough to figure out if you can put a wholesale deal together. Number two, talk to the homeowner and ask them what the insurance appraiser figured out what the damage to the property is. That's going to give you two numbers, so you don't have to like figure this out on your own. So if it was $50,000 or if it was $20,000, you're just going to mine this off your ARV and then figure out what fee you want to add to that. And you can easily structure an offer to make to the homeowner. Remember, you don't have to be an expert on fixing these properties. I don't want you to be a contractor. You've done the hardest part, which is seeking the motivation. And remember, you always want to go for the initial no. Remember, when there's a fire damaged property, odds are they really want to get rid of the property. They're getting an insurance claim. Use those two tools to figure out what the damage is, minus that off and figure out what fee you want to make. And remember, go for the lowest offer possible and then find out what your maximum allowable offer is. Meet with the seller, try to create a win-win situation. That's the best way to do it. You don't have to be a fire damage expert, I promise. Okay, so the next DM says, hey, I'm struggling trying to figure out ARV, which is after repaired value, and comps for a property. Any help? First of all, let's talk about comps. Comps is just short for the word comparables. So it's important you are using comparables. So the first rule of thumb when you're doing comps, you need to take less than 5 minutes. If you take more than 5 minutes, you're spending way too much time doing it. So what you want to do is find like and similar properties. How I do that? You can use simple online tools like Zillow, Realtor.com, or you can use the tools we teach over at Free Wholesaling. You can use listrei.com. You can use actdata.com. Guys, these are just tools. So when you find comparables, you want to find it comparable. So if you're looking at a 3-2, you want to make sure you look at 3-2s with similar square footage within 10 at max 15% range, and you want to look them at the closest proximity as possible. So when they say, hey, you need to compare oranges to oranges, apples to apples, this is what we're talking about in comparables, and understanding comps are a range. There's never one set number. So you're going to have a low comp, you're going to have a high comp. Us wholesalers like to be on the conservative side. I always stay on the lower side of the comp. That keeps you out of trouble and gives you room to even make more money in your deals. Now, when talking about after repair value, people want to nail down an actual number and call it an ARV. So if I'm going to do that, I'm still going to take the lowest comp and figure it out in its most perfect, prestigious condition. And if I want to do that, I'm going to try to look at properties on the MLS to get the highest number possible, and that will give you the after repair value. Remember, comps are always a range, and you want to be conservative and stay on the lower side. Comping out properties, you're coming out the ARV. As a wholesaler, you want to stay on the conservative side. Realtors always want to go on the higher side, and you have to be like the voice of reason. Stay on the conservative side, and remember, it's a range. There's never one set number, and that range should be within 5 to 10% max of very like houses. Stick to that model and you'll never get in trouble doing comps and ARV. Say, hey Rick, you interested in growing your Instagram account and gaining a ton of followers? Well, the answers to that is I'm always interested in growing any of my accounts, but I prefer to do it authentic than paying a guru who's probably just going to get me a bunch of fake followers and make my ego feel good. It's more important I get authentic people like you, people watching these videos. People understand I've done wholesaling for 20 years. I work with my son, I work with my wife, and this is a family business. So I'm really not interested in fake accounts, but if you're interested in following me, check me out on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. I would be happy to have you as a follower. Should I do cold calling or text blasting, Rick? That's kind of a personal choice. In my opinion, cold calling, if you're just starting out and you're perfectly comfortable in calling people and reaching out and understanding you're going to get rejected, cold calling, in my opinion, is going to be the faster way because you're actually talking to the seller and it cuts down the transition time on doing an SMS text blast where you have to get them on the phone. A lot of people think, oh, if I text them, it's much more convenient and scalable. It is, but it's a longer engagement to get that seller because on text, you have to get them on the phone. So if I had to pick between the two, I would hands down choose cold calling. Unless you are dead set against calling anybody on the phone, then you can do text blasting. Honestly, a combo of both, but cold calling is the fastest path to find motivated sellers if you're just getting started out in wholesaling. Hey, Rick, can I pull probates online? The answer is yes, and the answer is no. The reality is there's over 3,500 counties in this country, and if I had to go through every county and walk you through the process, I would never get anything done. So what you need to do is do the research and look up the probate process in your county. Some counties, they're online, and I know you guys think that's super convenient, and it is, and sometimes you have to pay a small business fee. But you have to understand if it's online, anybody in the world can get that information and you're gonna have a lot more competition. So if you're upset that you actually have to go down to the county courthouse, to the probate department and physically pull the leads, get excited because not many people are gonna go through that much effort and that is gonna give you an advantage and you can get to those leads faster than anyone else. Whoever gets to the lead first in probate and is the most consistent wins. So find out which way you can get it. And if you can get it online, just work lightning fast. And if you have to go in person, get excited about it. Guys, 3,500 counties, I feel like there's 3,400 different ways to pull probates based on the county rules. You need to get familiar with your county and find out which one's gonna work for you. So guys, that's it. That's all the DMs for today. I love answering them. I know I can't answer them all like real quick, but I'm gonna try to bring you more videos like this so I can answer these as efficiently possibly and help you guys become wholesalers. So guys, if you got any value from this video, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. This is Rick Ginn.